Let me tell you why Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi are honestly not going to last. And it's not what you think. It's not because they don't love each other. It's because Kendall literally refuses to film Jacob on the Kardashians. And Kris Jenner is genuinely losing her mind over it. Sources have said Kendall is threatening to walk away from the entire Hulu show if her mom Kris tries to force Jacob into any storylines. That's absolutely wild positioning, because Jacob is honestly the biggest name Kendall has ever dated. Jacob is an Oscar-nominated actor. He was just nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Frankenstein in January 2026. He starred opposite Margot Robbie in Wuthering Heights. He's basically the hottest young leading man in Hollywood right now. Kris Jenner sees Jacob as the ultimate storyline goldmine. Kendall sees Jacob as the reason to protect her private life. That's honestly a fundamental clash, and it's the kind of clash that can genuinely destroy a couple. Because if Kendall keeps refusing to film Jacob, eventually Kris will pressure Kendall until Kendall picks a side. Family business or private happiness? Wild dilemma. Nobody wins. Jacob Elordi is honestly one of the most privacy-obsessed actors in Hollywood right now. He deleted his Instagram completely years ago. He does absolutely zero social media. He barely does red carpets. He confronted a paparazzo in Paris in December 2025, saying, "You make it really hard for me to live. I don't love you." Absolute raw quote. Then he told the Hollywood Reporter podcast in November 2025, "The internet is insane. It was so frightening. I would go out to my coffee shop and all of a sudden I felt like I was in the Truman Show." Comparing his life to the Truman Show is honestly heartbreaking. He also told Vanity Fair years ago, "You want it to be genuine and real, but when people are watching and talking about it, it makes it a little bit difficult." Consistent stance across 5 years. So dating a Kardashian is honestly Jacob's worst nightmare. His entire brand is built on privacy. Meanwhile, Kendall's entire brand is built on being famous. That's a fundamental values mismatch. Whether they can honestly navigate that long term is genuinely uncertain, because at some point, Jacob is going to hit his breaking point with the constant paparazzi attention, and Kendall will have to decide if she's willing to give up her lifestyle for him. Kendall Jenner has been publicly hinting she wants marriage and kids soon, and Jacob Elordi is honestly nowhere near ready. Kendall told the In Your Dreams podcast in January 2026, "I'm actually super in a me era right now. When I turned 29, I had a crash out about turning 30. Then she added she genuinely wants a family soon." That's honestly a wild admission from Kendall, who has famously been the quiet Kardashian sister.
A beautiful family and things like that, and being in like a beautiful relationship with a lot of understanding.
Meanwhile, Jacob is deep in his career prime. He just wrapped Wuthering Heights, he's booked multiple upcoming projects, he's honestly focused on becoming one of Hollywood's most respected actors. That's the kind of ambition that doesn't leave room for building a family right now. Kendall wants domestic bliss. Jacob wants career expansion. That's honestly a timing mismatch, and timing mismatches genuinely destroy celebrity relationships more than anything else. Look at what happened with Selena Gomez in The Weeknd. Look at what happened with Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. Look at what happened with Emily Ratajkowski and Sebastian Bear-McClard. Different life goals equal doom. Kendall and Jacob might genuinely love each other, but love doesn't pay the emotional cost of wanting completely different things at the same time. Jacob Elordi's whole dating pattern is genuinely concerning if you look at it honestly. His major relationships never last more than about a year and a half. Zendaya, during Euphoria season -16 in 2019 to 2020, ended quickly. Kaya Gerber, from September 2020 to November 2021, just over a year. Then Olivia Jade Giannulli from December 2021 to summer 2023, about a year and a half. Then briefly linked to Zendaya again in 2023. Nothing formal happened. So Jacob honestly has a pattern of intense short-term relationships, not long-term commitments. That's the classic red flag pattern. Meanwhile, Kendall is at 30 years old, wanting to settle down. So Kendall is picking a partner who has honestly never demonstrated the ability to commit long-term to anyone. That's just data. Add to that, Jacob broke his foot at Cannes on May 4th, 2026, and had to withdraw from festival appearances. That's the kind of career hit that puts him under more pressure, not the kind of moment where he's ready to settle down and become a stepdad. Kendall is honestly betting on someone whose track record honestly says he'll ghost within a year and a half. That's not pessimism. That's honestly just his pattern, concerning statistics. Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi live completely different lives on completely different schedules. Kendall is one of the highest paid models in the entire world. She's constantly traveling for Fashion Week campaigns. She's constantly at Kardashian family events. She's constantly running her 818 tequila brand, which just secured a massive Sazerac partnership in April 2026. Kendall's schedule is honestly relentless. Meanwhile, Jacob is filming intense method roles. He was preparing for Wuthering Heights for over a year. He's doing extensive dialect coaching. He's doing physical transformations for characters. That's honestly all-consuming actor work. So Kendall and Jacob genuinely spend more time apart than together. They rendezvous in Idaho for July 4th weekends. They meet up in Byron Bay for weekend getaways at Jacob's family home. But their regular daily lives are honestly totally separate. That kind of long-distance dynamic works for casual couples. It genuinely doesn't work for someone wanting to build a family. And Kendall wants a family, so the geography is honestly working against them. Add to that, Kendall is based in Beverly Hills. Jacob is based between London and Byron Bay, Australia. So they're literally in different continents most of the year. That's just genuinely hard to sustain. Kris Jenner might honestly force Kendall Jenner off the Kardashians completely. That's how deep this Jacob Elordi fight has gone. In Touch Weekly reported Kendall is throwing such a huge fit and making all these threats about walking away from the show. Star Magazine described Kris as hell on wheels, trying to push the Elordi storyline for season 8. So Kris and Kendall are honestly at war behind the scenes. And Kris genuinely doesn't lose family arguments. Kris has always found ways to get her daughters to comply eventually. Kim initially resisted filming with Pete Davidson, then she did it. Kylie resisted filming with Travis Scott, then she did it. Kris always wins. So the pressure is honestly on Kendall to eventually cave. But Kendall has told Andy Cohen on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion special back in June 2021, "I feel like it's always worked better for me that way. I just feel like it's a private matter. It's not really for anybody else to judge or know." That was her decade-long rule.
I feel like it's always worked better for me that way. To be completely honest, I just feel like it's a private matter.
And Kendall is honestly running out of patience with the constant pressure to break her own rule, which means eventually she might genuinely decide Jacob is worth walking away from everything else. Jacob Elordi might honestly be the one to end this relationship first, and here's why. Jacob's entire mental health strategy is honestly built around privacy protection. He's been vocal about the Truman Show comparison. He literally confronts paparazzi publicly. He hates the constant surveillance. Meanwhile, dating Kendall Jenner means multiplying paparazzi attention by 10. Every dinner date becomes a global story. Every trip becomes tabloid fodder. Every Instagram appearance sparks conspiracy theories. That kind of overexposure is exactly what Jacob has been avoiding his entire career. So at some point, Jacob might genuinely reach his breaking point. He might decide that his mental health is worth more than any celebrity relationship, and that's honestly a legitimate decision. Meanwhile, Kendall genuinely loves her family and her career. She's not going to give up being a Kardashian for anyone. So the relationship might end with Jacob walking away, not with Kendall walking away. Meanwhile, Us Weekly source said in July 2026 that everyone around them thinks they're heading toward marriage. But the classic celebrity gossip pattern is honestly that couples looking headed to marriage often crash spectacularly before making it there. Kendall and Jacob might honestly be the next celebrity split of 2026. Watch this space carefully. Real drama incoming.